What's up, party people? It's KeysDAN with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous. It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time, DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you could have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Are you not entertained? Let me entertain you. Speaking of entertainment, today on the program, I got a threefer. Now, two of these people you've already heard on the What Makes You Famous podcast, TJ Cates and Jill Santibanez of the Nashville Entertainment Weekly.com. But today, you're going to be meeting Peter Whitham. Who's Peter Whitham? Oh, you know that name. He's from the Mississippi Music Foundation.org. Go ahead, pause this, and go there right now. Okay, and now you're back? Good. We're going to get to know a little bit about what's going on with the 7th Mississippi Music Awards going on April 22nd, 2023 in Mississippi. Mississippi. I got to get there. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to chit-chatting with them in the next few minutes. So stick around. This week's shows on Friday night. I will be at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas, the Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam. That's my usual Friday night gig from 8 p.m. until 12:30 in the a.m. They got a full bar, kitchens open, pool tables. They got a pool tournament on Friday nights. So if you want to try your hand at playing pool and possibly make some money while you're at it, come on out to the Rab, Conway, Arkansas. Hey, they got good food. Delicious food. There's new ownership, and they got the kitchen has been changed around, and it's delicious. The new owners are the ones that own the Italian restaurant in Conway. So delicious. Can't say enough. They always send me home with a nice meal at the end of the night, and that's very nice of them. I appreciate it so much. All right, that's the Rab, Conway, Arkansas, from 8 p.m. until 12:30 in the a.m. Friday night. All right, that's enough intro. Let's get into it with TJ Cates, Jill Santibanez, and Peter Whitham. I got them on Skype, so if you're listening to the audio version, I encourage you to check out the video version on my YouTube, youtube.com/user/KeysDAN. Skyping TJ Cates, Jill Santibanez, and Peter Whitham now.
We can hear you.
You guys are gorgeous. Look at you. TJ Cates, Jill Santibanez, and my newest friend, Peter Whitham. Now, I hope I pronounced that correctly. I know you're from England. And
it was TJ Cates, you got it.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. This guy is so right on the ball. It's like they're on radio or television or even movies all the time. They're movie stars. Hey, Peter Whitham, did you know you're sitting next to movie stars?
No,
You are. You're sitting next to movie stars. All right.
I know.
I hardly ever do any research on these things, but I did look at your little bio that you have on your Mississippi Music Foundation page, and it says you're from the tiny island of Malta. I have spoken to some of the people in Malta, so I'm guessing if I'm talking to you, my percentage of Maltese people has risen dramatically because it's a small, little, tiny island with a lot of partying, a lot of music comes out, a lot of festivities come out of Malta. And Peter, you came out of Malta. Tell me about you, Peter.
Pardon me?
Tell me about you.
It's only 8 by 16 miles. It's a small little thing. You're more than 4 miles away from the Mediterranean.
Well, I'm from the Florida Keys, Key Largo. Key Largo is probably just slightly smaller than Malta. You know, Key West is 5 by 3, if I'm not mistaken. That's the southernmost island in Florida. And I know that that TJ Cates and Jill Santibanez, they travel to the beach quite often. In fact, they just came back from the beach, and their equipment was wrecked. Tell me about the tripod situation. Tell me about how sand.
Her new name is Sandy. That's the name of her tripod.
And not the Sandy from Greece, but no, Sand. I used to DJ on the beach a lot, and weddings and parties on the beach. And the best thing about it was the salt air, the water, the fish, just the feeling, the blue, the bright blue. But then the worst part is getting sand in your equipment. So, all right. But we deal with things to live in paradise, to experience paradise, to experience the ocean. You have to have a little bit of sand in your toes, and sometimes in other crevasses, I guess.
Right?
But no, this is before we started recording. We were having a little tripod problems, but equipment, the music industry. The behind the scenes is what we're really going to be talking about. And you see how I did that? We're going to come back around and we're going to talk about what's behind the scenes. TJ Cates, Jill Santibanez, I've been dealing with you for years now. I've had the pleasure of knowing you, that you are not only in front of the camera, in front of the microphone, making movies, producing things such as the music award show that's coming up real soon in Mississippi, but you also stay behind the scenes and you push other people out. You push those new independent artists, those musicians that are trying to make a name for themselves. Maybe not. Maybe they have the inkling, the desire to make music, and they don't know how to get said music out to the world. Well, you two, at least the two of you, I know you like to push those people out, get them on the radio, get them online, get them to the proper places to get them where they need to be. But then once they get out there, accolades, people start hearing them, and people want to, once you start making music that people like, they're going to pat you on the back. And Peter Whitham, that's where you come in. You give them a pat on the back and an award. Tell me about you. Tell me about what's going on.
Yeah,
Peter?
we have to find independent artists. It's hard to find in Mississippi. They're hidden all over the place. So that's one thing the award does, is people tell other people it's really nice. So that's how we grow. That's how we even go out looking to see how we can.
Well, tell you what.
We kind of combine the independent and the well-known artists.
Well, since TJ Cates has done the great thing of setting up this microphone, whenever you're talking, make sure you have that microphone in front of you, because you were cutting out quite a bit.
I was trying to move him a little closer to the microphone. He's very low. He's a little quiet.
You sound perfect, TJ Cates, because you're right next to
to project.
You're right there next to that mic. But if you could take that mic and use it
like it's a movie prop, buddy. Don't get too.
Oh, see, I'm all excited. I thought you were plugged in, turned on, tuned in. Okay.
We'll get Peter to speak up next time.
Well, I want to make sure that people hear the important information that you're trying to convey. I want to know. My listener wants to know. So, Peter, get closer to that camera and try again.
It's okay.
TJ is someone talking.
I used to be a quiet talker. Now I copy.
Yeah, I mean, he's so better at talking than I am.
You play the piano.
I play the piano, so much better talker.
Well, fantastic. Well, TJ Cates, let me know what's going on. Why is Peter on the What Makes You Famous podcast?
Because Peter's already famous. So it's actually, it's turning around. We shot some films here in North Mississippi for a museum. We had Jerry Lee Lewis that passed. There's a museum for him, which is really cool. We had an artist here that played the part of him, played the part of Jerry Lee, but we need some original music originally recorded. And he has a studio, and we walked in his house, 30 pianos in this man's house.
In Peters.
Five out in the middle of out in the middle of the country, 5,000 square foot recording studio. He's recorded Willie Nelson, George Jones, lots of people like that. Very, very quiet man, very talented. He closes down our Mississippi Music Awards show playing his classical music. He's been playing since he was 10 years old. And he's quite amazing. But what he did was he set up a foundation. You know, when they're pulling the music out of schools, for the most part, he's teaching kids orchestra. He teaches them music. He teaches them. He wants to keep the education of music there, and that's what Mississippi Music Foundation.org is all about. So he really cares. He takes care of all these things that other people are not taking care of, and he asked us to come and promote because this is the longest Jill has ever been quiet. I just want to make a note right now.
Well, I don't want Jill to be quiet because she is an integral part of the team, of the Nashville entertainment team. It's the two of you. It's TJ Cates. It's Jill Santibanez. And yes, I'm always going to say Santibanez with my Cuban Spanish accent. Santibanez. Okay. But I've appreciated, the way that you push people forward. You have, I mean, my goodness, I've had you have access to the Radio What page, and you've had those artists perform live, especially, my goodness, during this last few years with this pandemic thing. People, the creators still got to create. And the only way that they can get themselves out there without having a stage where they can perform in front of, live in front of thousands of people was to have this online platform that you have provided. Jill Santibanez, tell me about, the things that you've been doing in that respect, and also about the podcasting you've been doing. You're a girl boss, I tell you.
Oh, you're so sweet. Rachel and I, happy birthday, Rachel, by the way. Rachel, George, and I were doing a podcast for a little while called The Girl Boss Next Door. And she has 2 babies. She just had another baby, so 2 total. But she's super busy, and I know it. So I'm giving her, her time to just do what she's doing and be her. And she's in Los Angeles, and she's an actress. She and her husband are big actors out there in LA, and I'm so happy for them and all they're doing and their beautiful family. But I definitely want to circle back with her and do our podcast again because she's brilliant. Whatever she does, she's brilliant, and she's, as you know, she's from Europe, and she has I love her voice. She has a great voice for podcasting, for radio, and on camera, she's gorgeous. So it's a lot of fun watching her and how she and similar but different. A lot of fun, and our so much fun. And you also interviewed us, which is great. But back to the artists. Thank you so much for spinning all of our artists on your Radio What programming, and also interviewing our artists on this platform, this wonderful, great, and also doing the music, the takeovers on your page. It's so helpful to all the artists. We appreciate it.
We do appreciate it.
Well, I mean, for me, who doesn't play an instrument, I've had guitars. I have a full keyboard sitting in the other room. You said you have 50 pianos. I have one nice piano. I can barely play Mary Had a Little Lamb. And no, I can't play Mary Had a Little Lamb. I play those 3 black keys with my knuckles. Bing, 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 bing. No, that's the thankfully I have a wife that learned how to play some Beethoven, and she played Ode to Joy for me the other day. And I was crying. This is what a musician can do. Music can do is you play on those keyboards and you change lives. You change feelings. People have had a hard week, a hard day at work. And Peter Whitham, you get on those piano keys and you put a little tune, maybe something a little higher toned to pick them up, or a little lower toned if you're at the haunted house, the haunted farmhouse. Boom, 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 boom. Ah! You're scared. You're scaring people with just the sound of their piano, of your music. I mean, you've been playing for a long time, since you were 10. I mean, you're only about 30, 31, 32 years old right now, but
just a little skip over that. Yep.
Something cool that we've been able to do, since he brings what he brings, we bring what we bring. We're able to bring some people out of Nashville. We got Jeannie Seeley is coming in. She's like, I guess, like the Ernest Tubb of current day opera. Anytime somebody's get inducted, she's the one that introduces them and gets them to bring in. We've got
at the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah, we have Rick that's coming in from Leonard Skinner. He's going to come. We had Steve Azar So there's some big names. Even this first year that we've been a part of it, he already had big names, but we brought in some of our contacts and our Rolodex, if they still make those. I don't know. I always like the way they spin, but we bring in, and we're really bringing in things together. So there's a big, we've taken over the ballroom. We went for the big ballroom, and we have a stage, a red carpet. We have a reception, an after party. It's just going to be one big weekend. And it's a lot of these artists have never been nominated, or they've never been to award shows. And, we watched the award show on TV this week, and it was a little different. I just couldn't say it was different. But we're happy that we've got an award show that is just there for the independent artists. They do have to have all original music. And that's when they threw a couple people off, but it kind of weeds out the people, lets them know, go get some original music. So, dude, this is going to be an incredible day. You're going to be there, right?
Well, I'm not going to be there. I apologize in advance for not being able to make it, but certainly, I mean, I've gotten the opportunity to talk to some of these artists that not only you promote, but others promote, the independent artist, as you will. I say, quote unquote, independent, because what is art, because somebody like, a Leonard Skinnard or your local band at your local club, they may play equally as well. They've been putting time into their craft. It's just the promotion. It's just the team behind them. And that's where you come in. I always tell them, or I often tell them, we can only go so far on our own. There's a lot of SoundCloud DJs, SoundCloud musicians that put these little demos out there, but you help them to find, a better studio, somebody with better recording equipment, somebody that's going to make them sound the best that they can sound. Add a little echo, put a little voice imaging, put some of that auto tune on them. Not too much, not like Cher and not like T-Pain, but just a little bit, But you help them make that music that much better and helping them to push it to the world. Me that doesn't play instruments, my job since 1986 when I started on radio is to play other people's music, push people forward. The reason I got into radio is to be a part of the community. The reason you got into the Nashville Entertainment Weekly, the entertainment business, is to push other people up. And if you can make a buck, fine. If you can make a living doing it, hey, that's great too, because you're doing something you love while helping other people. Hello, that's what we're supposed to be doing. Yeah. And Peter, I'm sorry.
And I really enjoy it, which is amazing.
I'm sorry.
We're going to be sure to go to the website too.
I'm sorry.
We want to tell anybody if they're watching right now, but we want to tell everybody that's watching right now. Mississippi Music Foundation.org. You can still buy tickets. You can still come to the show. We've got about 480 tickets left right now of the 1,000. So we're moving pretty forward. We just got a billboard up. We just started our press and everything like that. You can also still vote for your artists. Now you can go find them. And this is how we're building fan bases, amazing fan bases, and cross promoting these artists all across the land.
And that's
fun.
Yeah, that's exactly what we do. Unfortunately,
next year, will you at least come next year?
I will make my plans to come next year.
We got a year in advance, right? Yep. Got to give him a year. He's busy. For sure.
All right, let me check. What am I doing on April 22nd? Let's see. April 22nd, that's Saturday. I have a wedding. I have a wedding in Greenbrier, Arkansas, only about 15 minutes away from my house. So.
Well, that's more important. That's paying the bills. That's keeping the lights on so you can keep doing what you're doing. We do want everybody to support you and everything that you're doing because it's really important. You don't charge us to come on your show, and that's a big deal that you're promoting a charity organization here in Mississippi, man. I can't tell you how much we appreciate you, dude.
Well, I know that the award show is not just an award show. You do have it is March. It is April 22nd, 2023. That you have in the show, but you do a lot of other things with the community. There's voting that people can get involved in. I guess the voting is done March 31st. Tell me about what all the voting was and who was voting.
Yeah, the song of the year has the votes are finished, but every other category is still good to April 15th.
Well, tell me about how they can vote, Peter.
All they do is they go to MississippiMusicFoundation.org, and there's a little button up top that says Vote 2023, You press that, and it'll show you everybody, all the categories, everything they're nominated for, and there's an amazing amount of people on there.
And you just scroll down to the bottom, and then you just type in all the information that's needed.
Well, it's a very intuitive website. There's a lot of people that what you're doing, in essence, even just having their names on there, is you're exposing people to these artists without them even having to go to the show. People are going to be looking up, hey, who is Blind Mississippi Morris? Who is Johnny Campbell Band? Who is Angela Watson? Who is Wendy Burns? I know who Angela Watson is. I had her on the podcast. She's great. And these are just random names. I'm reading down this list. Bethany Collier, Amy Jo, Daniel Spencer. Just having them on the website is giving them promotion from you. It's helping them to get to that next level. That's what you do, Peter. You help them achieve their goals. They could sing by themselves in their bathroom and have pretty good acoustics, but if you get behind them with an award show, Peter, or if you get behind them, TJ Cates, with your ability to get them on the radio or get them on a stage somewhere, or even get them into a house, because I know you're a real estate agent too.
Licensed real estate agent, state of Tennessee. Yes. That's
right. That's right. See how I sneak all that in there? I want to make sure that everybody knows everything about you, so that way you can keep doing what you do. You can keep building this empire that is, the Nashville entertainment, and you can keep building this empire that is the Mississippi Foundation, Mississippi Music Foundation.org. It's what we're supposed to be doing in this world. Once you get to a certain level, you're supposed to reach down and pick other people up and help them up and get to the next level.
That's biblical, man. That is so biblical, what you just said. That's one of my favorite scriptures in the whole Bible, is that. And one thing, too, that you're doing that Peter does that maybe you not realize that you do, like when you have them as a guest and you talk about them on your station, and then when Peter's doing that, it gives them a head up. When they go play a bar or somewhere, they typically would get a couple $100. Whoops, my battery's getting a little bit low. But if they do that, then they can say, well, I'm a nominated artist. It's like a Grammy nominated. It's like all these things that will let them know, that gets them a little bit more pull. So that's like we do with our independent record. We call it an independent record label because we take artists, we let them keep their music, the ownership of it. And he has a real record label that's really big if you're looking for somebody. But if you're looking somewhere in the middle, but what we do is to be associated with the Nashville music record label, Music Row, it gives them a leg up and it gets them better pay, like our bands in Detroit, like our bands in Texas, Florida, whatever. And then if you really want to go out there and do something really big, that's what we hand off. We're so grateful for the partnership with Peter because he's at a level that's up here. And I feel like we can now take care of everybody that reaches out to us, no matter what level that they're at. So it's cool.
Well, I mean, Peter,
it's a great, let's say,
it's a great team.
No, Peter, you have been and are at a higher level, and I say levels, this means that you can afford to create, to let your creative juices flow. You can breathe a little bit. You don't have to hustle as hard as some of the kids that are just scraping to get by. There's different ways you can be in this music industry. You could be in a party band where you do covers every weekend for a few $100s a pop, and stay local, stay within your 50-mile radius, or you could be a touring musician all over the world, from Malta and beyond, to the world, like you did, and you are doing. Are you still touring? Are you still playing concerts?
I still perform 4 times a year.
What are those special 4 times that people can come and see you at? Is it set?
So you got to be at the award show. You'll be able to see how I close the show. So come see, if you'd like to see, come to the award show on April 22nd.
And we're going to film. We have professional production companies going to film it. They're going to be able to go to the website and watch it.
Yeah.
So it's a big platform for everybody to be there. And we have over 30 artists who are going to play on stage. So it's going to enable people that have never heard all this music around the country. All they hear is the artists that are being pushed in the top 10, top 40 around the country, and the CMT Awards and the MTV. This is going to be the real artists that are, man, the talent I was so blown away when I moved to Nashville, I couldn't hardly handle it. That's why I started my company. I was so blown away by the talent. And like you said earlier, you said somebody could be at a different level. And to know that the talent may not be any better than a big band that made it. It's luck of the draw. And if they're playing locally in a bar, man, God bless them, because that's strictly for the love of music and paying your bills. So we support everybody.
Well, there's luck involved. There's definitely right time at the right place, but there's also the team that you have behind you. You know, you can hire somebody out or get involved with somebody who's not going to do anything for you, or you can get involved with someone like yourselves, like Peter, that has the power of a record label that has a team behind it that's going to handle your social media, handle sending your records out to different radio stations. When I was working at a radio station, I loved it when I got records at first and then later on CDs. I mean, sometimes I would get some tapes, but I really couldn't use those. So don't send tapes. But the CDs, I would get them piled up. And one of my jobs before I even got on the air was to listen to those CDs and say, yeah, I think this is going to fit the format, because I was the music programmer as well on several of the stations that I worked at. So one of the things that you do, you listen to the radio, yeah, that'll fit my format. Boom. You find a way to, nowadays, you just rip it into your hard drive and put it in the program. But before that, you would put it in a pile and say, hey, play this on heavy rotation, play this once an hour, play this twice an hour, play this once every 4 hours, whatever. Put it on the clock. And make sure that they're getting the time that they deserve, because that's going to fit the format of that station. But without a team, if you're all by yourself, you're going to be mailing CDs randomly to people that are just going to throw them in the trash.
I've got a stack of them on my guitar back there hanging on the wall. You mean, we do listen to them, and we get favorite. I think we're running out of battery, man.
That's all right.
Thanks for your time today.
Yeah, all we needed really,
we didn't get mad and hang up. I want to talk about battery.
All we needed right now is to tell people about this music show that's coming up. I know we've talked on the podcast before. People know all about you, TJ Cates and Jill Santibanez, and even Peter Whitham. They know about you. All they have to do is go to that website. What's that website, Jill, since you haven't said anything lately?
Sure. MississippiMusicFoundation.org.
Well, tell me what you're most excited about going to the show.
I'm just excited to be a part of an award show. Finally, TJ and I have been wanting to do an award show, and when we went over to Peter's to work with him with the museum and to work at his recording studio, I saw his poster on the wall saying Mississippi Music Awards, and I said, do you have an award show? And he said yes, and he asked TJ to be a part of it, and then Peter also said that he wanted me to be a part of it, and I was really excited because TJ and I have been wanting to do it, but we really want to do it on a scale that is.
We didn't want to do a rinky-dink. We want to go big.
We just needed somebody like Peter to already have like a platform to get to where it's been right now, and I feel like every year it's just going to keep growing and growing, because before it was just Mississippi, but since Peter brought TJ and I on, we've been able to expand it to outside of Mississippi. So Peter's been such a blessing to artists and just giving them this opportunity. So we're really thankful for that.
Well, I'm thankful.
We don't have is a KeysDAN floor. He's talking about. We need a KeysDAN floor. I want a dance floor, man. I want a dance floor next year.
Well, we got a dance floor. Every time I'm there, it's a dance floor. Whatever surface is in front of my DJ booth is a dance floor, whether it be grass or concrete or wood or styrofoam. Sometimes foam. Foam parties. Those are the best.
Foam party. I don't know, man. Our generation, we're the same age, and everything was dance floors, and I just don't see that. It's coffee shops and standing on the phone and sitting in a pub. It's like, come on, man, kick the chairs out and crank up some music and let's dance. So next year we may have a dance floor.
That would be fine.
With LED lights, like Saturday Night Live, like Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah, exactly. Danny Terrio, the golden. So next year I'm going to make the dance floor happen, and we need to get you to DJ our pregame.
Now that would be fun. I think that's a date. That can be doable. Not a problem. Well, I look at
the whole train when they would go down and they would go down the carpet. I want to see that on the carpet.
I want to see that. I want to see that. Well, it's exciting. I mean, I look at the website. You have a team. You have Dr. Reginald Martin, David L. Cook, Charles Hodem, Donna Shop, Soru Jones, Angela Jones, Cassie Smith, Autumn Red, and right there, co-producers TJ Cates and Jill Santibanez. It takes a team to put all this together. Peter Whitham, you're the president, you're the chairman of the board, you're the man, and you got a show that's coming up. You're putting on a show with 30, at least 30 people that are gonna be performing. That's a reason to get off your couch and buy a ticket and go get to the Mississippi Music Awards, the 7th Mississippi Music Awards. Well, Peter, I'm going to let you have the last word. I think the battery is dying, but tell me about, I mean, has it progressed? It's the 7th Mississippi Music Awards on April 23rd, 2023. Give the people
22nd.
April 22nd. Yeah, don't show up the 23rd because you'll be a day late and $1 short. You can help them clean. You can help them clean up. That's right. You can help them clean up. No, the April 23rd. Well, tell me, tell people the last word. What do you need them to know about the 7th Mississippi Music Awards?
All they have to do is go to MississippiMusicFoundation.org. Just press on the very right top. There's tickets.
And all tickets are tax deductible. If anybody watching wants to make a donation to the foundation, sponsor a table for some artists, sponsor anything like that, just go and do the same thing. Everything's 100% tax deductible, even every ticket that's obtained.
Yep. And all 100% of the money goes to kids and the foundation, and has been that way since it started in 2009.
Well, that's one thing that that schools will usually, if they have their budget cut, they'll start cutting out the music programs. They'll start cutting out the art programs. The kids need art. The kids need music. That you need to use both halves of your brain. I know reading, writing, and arithmetic is very important, but so is music. So is art.
I thought it was reading, rhythm, and arithmetic. Is rhythm not the second word? I thought it was. I think it needs to be like that.
It's the 3 R's: reading, writing, arithmetic. Yes, rhythm. Rhythm could be the 4th R. That's okay. It. You've made it up. You've done it, TJ. You've made a whole new school curriculum. I didn't know we could do it here on this podcast. All right, let's close this thing out, man. I appreciate you guys so much. TJ Cates, Jill Santibanez, how can they get a hold of you in your ways?
NashvilleEntertainmentWeekly.com. NashvilleEntertainmentWeekly.com.
All right, and once again, Peter Whitham, the last words would be the website for your foundation.
MississippiMusicFoundation.org.
Well, there you have it, party people. TJ Cates, Jill Santibanez, and Peter Whitham of the Mississippi Music Foundation, MississippiMusicFoundation.org. So a lot of this goes to charity. You're not only just going to get a great music show with 30 bands or more, but you're also going to have the satisfaction of giving to the kids. All right? Don't let the little kids grow up without music, without art, without a creative juice, without an outlet for their creative juices. Let it flow. Let that music flow. Let the music play. Let it go. Let it flow. Let your love flow. Yeah. And they got plenty of tickets still left. April 22nd. The place you ought to be is Mississippi. Yeah. MississippiMusicFoundation.org. Press that little button at the top and get your tickets. And make a donation. If you got wallets that are fat, make sure you break that wallet open and spread the love. You know, that's what they used to say back in the 70s, 60s, and 70s. Spread the love. That means give that money if you can. If you can't, hey, don't feel bad. Okay, the haves and the have-nots. And if you're a have, you got to give a little to the have-nots. Everybody needs to be helped out. And I'm glad that we made that abundantly clear on this podcast, is that once you get to a certain level, help each other out. Doesn't have to be monetarily. If you could teach somebody guitar, that's great. Teach them how to play piano, that's great too. If you could record their music, you know, at a decent price, something they can afford, and make it sound just right so they can play it on the radio, that's great too. Okay? Use the skills that you have to help other people. Isn't that nice? Just be nice. All I got's this microphone in front of me. Well, and a little bit of computer skills to put all this together. I apologize for the sound, the Skype thing. You know, when you got a few people that are trying to talk, sometimes we bounce over each other. It cuts out. Hopefully it sounds okay. I had a good time. I got the gist of what's going on. I'm glad that I got a chance to meet up with Peter Whitham and to see my old friends TJ Cates and Jill Santibanez once again on the What Makes You Famous podcast. Ah, so good. So good. Nice people. And I hope I hope it goes well. I hope it goes very far. Hey, it's the 7th annual. They've had 6 chances to get it better and better and better. The 7th one, it's got to be better than the other 6, right? If you liked what they did on the other 6, the 7th one, that's where it's at. All right. MississippiMusicFoundation.org. Make sure you make your way over there and get your tickets to the show and donate if you can. Thank you so much, TJ Cates, Jill Santibanez, and Peter Whitham for being on the podcast, the What Makes You Famous podcast. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Famous. If you, yes, you, now I'm turning my attention to you. If you'd like to tell your story, I encourage you to give me a call, 501-470-6386, or email keysdan@aol.com. That's it for me. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.